Hello and welcome to this edition of Trojan Talk. I'm Paige Ray. Joining us today is an artist with the International Art Center. This is Zdenko Krtić. I told him before this interview started I'm going to try and say his name correctly throughout, but thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course. So, you've been here for a little while now. You have an exhibition in the IAC, but you also met with some students a few weeks ago. Before we get into all of that, tell us about your work.
Sure. I'm a full-time artist, painter now. I've been teaching for about 27 years at Auburn University in the Department of Art and Art History. And just recently I have retired, built a new studio in Auburn, Alabama, and I went back to my first love, and that was full-time painting and drawing. So this exhibition that I'm showing at Troy here is the result of last three or four years of my work in the studio full-time.
That's awesome. So tell us about the work that's currently on display in the IAC.
My interest in art, in contemporary art, is to explore the nature of representation and perception, nature of light. And I'm doing that twofold, using photography and using painting and drawing. And so the photography offers immediacy and glimpse of light and visual transparency in the nature. The painting offers more slow down and meditative kind of qualities that you can impart onto that imagery collected in nature. But often I'm inspired by my walk through the countryside, and all the sensory, sound, visual, textural, visceral experiences are all in my paintings.
Now, we were talking before this interview began, you use beeswax in your painting, which is an unusual type of work, is that correct?
It is correct. It is gaining in popularity. It happens to be actually a very ancient painting medium. Just like with oil painting, you would use linseed oil to mix dry pigments to make oil paint. In this type of painting, you use natural beeswax and then some resins, tree resins, to use them as a medium to melt your pigments and use that as a painting medium. So it's encaustic painting.
And what effect does that provide that you wouldn't get from other types?
That's a very good question. There are advantages and disadvantages. One fantastic thing of being Southern artist here, and I consider myself Southern artist, is that the humidity here is very high.
Oh, yes.
As you probably noticed. But with wax is completely impervious to moisture. So it's a good archival quality to have medium of wax used for painting versus some other mediums. Also, it dries instantly, so whatever results you produce, you can instantly exhibit. It doesn't have to, it cures very long time, but not on the surface, so it's ready for exhibition as soon as you do it. It can also be easily destroyed. The beauty of wax is that it is visually transparent and translucent, and that's the beauty of it.
And you gave students a chance to kind of try their hand with that.
I was impressed with your students here. They were coming from the Department of Art, and Professor Greg Skaggs was bringing them in. These are drawing students, and I asked them to come to my show before I come and see my exhibition, find hopefully some inspiration in my work, and do some drawing and sketching from the exhibition. And so when I came, I was teaching them how to use wax as a transfer medium. So we would use pieces of wood with wax applied on them. I prepared that in advance. And then I was showing them how easy and fun it is to transfer the drawings from their sketchbook to the actual panels.
I wonder how they were feeling during that. I'm sure not many of them had seen that.
No, I think it was fairly new for all of them. They responded well, and I think the thing they can get out of this is that just to get a glimpse of what the potential of the medium is, that is kind of foreign to them, so they seem like want me to come back and do more.
Good.
And also I think the key is really when you talk to young people about and showing them some processes, they should really hopefully see the passion that I have for the process.
Now let's talk about this because you did have your opening night recently.
Yes.
So folks can go and see your work now. What can they expect when they go through there?
Well, I think, as you know, probably we are all sort of focused on our own disciplines, so usually busy with other things in life. I think the exhibition is a good opportunity for anybody, however they feel about contemporary art, to come and see for themselves. It is what connects us to being human, any type of experience of slowing down and looking at visual painting, art, drawing. So I feel like there's plenty to see. My focus this time is on light qualities and afterlights and the kind of notion of light residue. And so that's kind of hard to explain in the words. So you need to go and come and see the work.
If that doesn't convince people to come and see it, I don't know what will. Tell me, do you know how long your exhibition will be in the IAC?
Yes, the exhibition just opened last week. We had the artist reception last night. It was very nice. Lots of colleagues came from the university here and students and others. The show will be open until August 27th, so there's plenty of opportunity to come and see it.
Well, Zdenko, thank you so much for being with us. We're so excited to have your work here on display and to get to learn about a new art form that many of us probably didn't know about.
Let me know what you think.
Thank you, and thank you for joining us on this edition of Trojan Talk.